Da 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 dum. Hello and welcome back to another lot. Da 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 da.
Yeah, double one this week.
Hello and welcome back for another live episode with me, Scott Evans, and my design partner and brother, Anthony Evans, in our Look Digital Puppets cartoon studio.
Hello.
Where for 17 weeks we've been live every Tuesday talking about cartoons, Adobe Character Animator, interviewing other animators and answering questions from all of you, our audience, live. So please do feel free to say hello in the chat box and do post messages and queries throughout the show to us and also our guests tonight. And I can see we've already got loads of questions coming in, so we're going to do a better job of, you know, actually interacting with you as you post them in tonight. Right, so in case you are new to our show and don't know exactly what we do, we are an animation studio that specialises in real-time animated characters which are used for interactive marketing, education, entertainment, if I say the word properly, and by many people as virtual presenters for the YouTube, Mixer and Twitch channels, which is why we are here right now, because even though last week we ended the show by saying we weren't doing an episode tonight, we changed our minds since a very special guest that we've been trying to get on the show for a very long time has finally become available to talk to us, and that special guest is Mr. Cazzler the dog, who is an up-and-coming character gamer on Twitch. Now, I'm really looking forward to finding out how Mr. Cazzler got started, some behind-the-scenes info, and learning more about his actual technical setup. But, however, before we connect via satellite with our cartoon guest, Ant, can you run his show reel to give our audience a quick introduction to who Mr. Cazzler is?
Yeah.
Not today, dude. Yeah, you heard me. It's just not gonna happen. I put too much work into this, and now everything is ready. Today, it's my stream, bitch. Get used to it.
Hello, Mr. Cazzler.
Hello!
Hello and welcome.
Hello, thanks for joining us on tonight's show. We hope we're not interrupting any of your gaming at the moment.
No interruptions right now. Bradley and I just got back from California, so we're running a little late, but we're here. We're here. Thanks for having me, guys.
No, it's a pleasure. We've been trying to get you on. We've been really looking forward to getting you on the show and talking to you, well, about everything, about your channel, how you set up, the whole lot. What are you playing? What game are you playing on at the moment?
Right now I'm playing on a lot of PUBG, so League of Legends. I don't know if you've ever heard of League of Legends. And then getting ready to doing a campaign on Dungeons and Dragons with some other friends on Twitch.
Cool. Well, I'm just about to start getting into, what's the name of the game now? The one when they drop you on the island and it's the last one standing.
There's a couple of them. There's actually battle royales. It's there's one that started it all off called H1, which I like. Some of my friends don't really like it, so we don't play very much anymore.
Battleground.
PUBG. So that's H1. This one's called. There's another one called PUBG, which is Player Unknown's Battlegrounds, and that's one we're pretty much playing a lot right now. But there's a new one that's a little bit more in the style that I'm in, I guess you could say, and it's called Fortnite, and it's a pretty fun game.
Yeah, I've actually just downloaded that. Got it on my Xbox One. I haven't played it yet, though.
Yeah, it's a fun game. It's a really fun game.
It's a free game as well, isn't it?
Well, we're looking forward to.
Yeah.
Oh, that's that lag thing that we were talking about before we went live. Oh, anyway, we don't actually know that much. We don't know that much about Twitch or how to really set up our system to get our character animators working at the same time as playing the game. So, you know, those are one of the things that we want to talk about tonight. But before we get to that bit, for those that are watching that don't know who you are, can you introduce yourself to everyone and perhaps explain why you're inside somebody's head?
Yeah, like I said, my name's, or as you guys know also, is that my name's Cazzler, or Mr. Cazzler, and I am in the head of Bradley, who is my human owner. He's been on this earth for about 31 years. That's his brain right there. You can't really see it on the screen that we got going on right there, but I'm in this command center. I built it from the ground up because I'm a genius, and that's how I take control of his body to make him play the games, so then I can broadcast out to you.
And so you've taken over his head purposely to, have you always been inside his head, or is this like, I haven't got a clue, to be honest. Are you like always been there controlling Bradley, or have you somehow got inside his head so that you can be playing the computer games?
No, he came up with me on his own, and over years of manifestation, I've kind of come to life, and he knows that I take control. Him and I have conversations on a regular basis, which is weird because some people can't see me unless I'm broadcasting, obviously. So I take over his body on a nightly basis when we're broadcasting on Twitch, and he's completely cool with it. He's even a mod on my channel, so if people get unruly in chat and maybe say some words that they shouldn't be saying, he'll step in and kick them out. But yeah, he's a completely willing participant in this whole thing.
So how long have you been in control and running a Twitch channel? When did it all get started?
Well, I was watching him play on Twitch. He originally started a channel under his own name, and then he, in my opinion, just sucked. He sucked at streaming. So I just told him one night in a dream that I was taking over, and he was kind of cool with it. So we've been doing this since, I think, May of this year.
And have you found that being, you know, you taking over instead of Bradley, so instead of people seeing a human person playing when they're, you know, scrolling across new people to follow on Twitch, do you find that your persona, your presence on the Twitch channel, does it make any difference to the interest that people show in wanting to follow you and watch you play games?
Yeah, I mean, other than the fact that I'm way cuter than Bradley, it is definitely a little bit of a niche market in Twitch right now. There's not a whole lot of characters coming out and showing what they can do. I believe you guys had one of our friends, Scribbly, on. He's one that he found Twitch and has been doing really well for himself. And ever since I took over, and like I said, it has a lot to do with that I'm way cuter than Bradley, but also girls like dogs a little bit more, but also it's a little bit different on Twitch. Generally, you see on Twitch a lot of just cams on people playing video games, which is cool, a lot of fun, and it works out for a lot of people. But this just brings us something a little bit different on Twitch.
And can you talk us through a little bit, well, in as much detail as you want, really, because I know there's a lot of people out there that are starting to get into virtual avatars, you know, especially with the way everything is going very much mainstream AR and VR at the moment. I think you're going to see a lot more virtual presenters, you know, and not just for gaming and channels on YouTube, but even for like retail and stuff like that. So you're going to have a lot more virtual presenters online. So I think there's going to be a lot of people out there really interested about your setup. You know, how is it that you can manage to operate Bradley, you know, like you're controlling your human and also controlling your game, you know, what's your setup so that you've got all these different things working at the same time? Because I know for me, I haven't got a clue. You know, I've got these games on my PC that, you know, I'd be quite interested in doing like a Twitch thing, but I really have no idea how to do it at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, there's, even since I've been starting since May, I've seen handfuls of animated characters coming to life, which is amazing. And it's coming, and it's what I'm using to run the command center. So this whole area here, this is what I call the command center. And what I'm using to run this is Character Animator. which is a fantastic tool that a lot of people are really starting to get into and really starting to peel back those onion skins. And it's an awesome tool that helps me run the command center. But I also use a 2 PC setup. I have the command center and myself on one PC with OBS running out, and then I have another PC that has a capture card or an out to a capture card that's in the other PC, and then that PC is broadcasting out. So I have a little bit of a more elaborate setup, but I am controlling human, so I need a little bit more tools. One of the best things about the setup that I have is a little trick that I learned from Scribbly is a touchscreen monitor, a multi-touchscreen monitor that allows Bradley to kind of control elements in the command center.
I mean, we've just ourselves just both got some multi-touchscreen monitors. They're pretty cool, actually. Makes it a lot easier when triggering our expressions and things like that.
So much easier.
Yeah, because at the moment, in my very low-tech way of working, I've just gone out and bought a £5 keyboard, USB keyboard, which I stuck into the side of the laptop, and I've got all little stickers and all the keys, you know, just for the different expressions. I've got the touchscreen TV that we bought about, I don't know, we got about 2 weeks ago, and Anthony's been setting it all up, and I have not got round to setting it up yet. It is something that I'm looking, you know, it's going to be over Christmas that I'm really going to be able to have time when I take time off over Christmas, you know, perversely that I'll stop doing commercial work over Christmas, but I'll still be working. I'll just be working on my own projects. Because we got those other things.
I get that for sure.
Want to be going ourselves. And
for
that's
sure,
the
yeah.
hardest
And
thing
also
about being creative. Sorry,
yeah, it is really hard thing to do it. Oh, you're fine. So yeah, there's a lot of tools. Like I said, the multi-touch. Then there are also some great pedals that are involved. There's one by Olympus. I can't remember the exact model right now, but there's a pedal that we use, and then also the Elgato Stream Deck, which is basically just a MIDI. I think it's just a USB controller, and you can program the keys to do hotkeys. So just by a touch of a button, I can do other things. That would, like, I can play guitar. It allows me to do that kind of stuff.
With the new update,
Can you share?
With the new update to Character Animator as well, it's got the new MIDI inputs. So that's kind of opened it up now, so you can add a load more stuff. Like if you can get a mixing desk, you can have the dials doing stuff, sliders doing things. You can get a keyboard on the go and use all the buttons on the keyboard.
Yeah, I think there's a gentleman in the chat. I haven't seen him say anything for a minute, but his name's Chris, and he's using a lot of stuff with MIDI controllers that are awesome. Just for like even sound effects. Yeah. Running the character with sound effects. It's mind blowing the creativity that this tool allows people to do.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of it's quite open for people to just come up with ideas themselves as well, and we always keep an eye out to see what other people are doing to give us some ideas for ourselves.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, each week when we do these interviews, we get so engrossed in our interviews that we are definitely guilty of ignoring, not ignoring, is that we take too long to get to all the people commenting, and at the moment I can see a whole bunch of people dropping some comments. So before we carry on with our conversation, we should really acknowledge some of the people that are posting messages to us and say hello and see if there's any. I think we just got a whole lot of love for Cazzler at the moment. He's got a lot of fans.
Yeah, there is.
Followed him over to tonight's conversation.
Yeah, there's that's one of the. That's one of the greatest things about Twitch is the community. Honestly, there's a lot of tech and a lot of great video game playing on Twitch, but one of the best things about Twitch is the community. And you guys can kind of see in your chat right now. These are the people that I hang out with on a daily basis and are always coming through our stream, and they're just awesome.
It definitely looks up, and that's the thing that like me and Anthony have got a new show that we're going to be working on again over Christmas. And it's not going to be what we're doing right now. And it's something that we're going to do on Facebook. And the main premise is, so, because at the moment this show is very niche for people like ourselves that work in the creative industry. And it's a lot of how things are done and interviews. But it is a niche market to the people that watch the shows from other animators and people that are interested in it. But the other show we're going to work on is going to be much more for everybody. And that's one of the things we're looking forward to, It's really building an audience and interacting with them. I mean, I mean, that's the thing. I honestly don't know that much. I know that I work with people that use Twitch, but I personally haven't used Twitch that much. I mean, I watch some of the people on Twitch, but because of my own workload, I don't get to sit and watch people as much as I'd like to. Can you explain a bit more about the community? Like, how do you interact with them? You know, what is the relationship between you, the gamer, and people watching? You know, in what kind of way do you interact with each other?
Well, that's actually a good question, because it kind of plays into the whole shift of just how people are ingesting their entertainment now. People are moving away from TV and doing like these subscription-based entertainment avenues, which is awesome because Twitch falls right kind of in that. So you come to Twitch for multiple reasons. You can come to Twitch to watch a professional gamer teach you how to play the game way better and learn the techniques that they're using. Or you can come to Twitch and learn how to draw because there's a creative section of Twitch. Or, you know, you guys yourselves, you could be broadcasting on Twitch in the creative section as you create these awesome puppets. But then people come in there just for like an entertainment. They just do it as a show. One of the best things about growing a Twitch channel is to be on a consistent schedule, just because like people consume their entertainment pretty much on a schedule. They're like, you know, you're always going to be on at 6 o'clock. That's when my favorite TV show is going to be on. So there's a lot to Twitch, and it's broken up into these little sub communities that are formed by the streamers and the people that are in them. So you really can go to Twitch and find something that you like on Twitch. Anybody can really do that. It just happens to be that I'm not that great of a gamer, but I'm a cute, smart dog, so I get by.
So if someone wanted to get on Twitch themselves, is it an easy setup, an easy thing to do? Can anyone do it, or do you have to have... I mean, do you have to have like the right hardware?
No, anybody can do it. There are some system requirements, of course. You have to have OBS, a game that you can run OBS on at the same time. But other than that, and a webcam, that's all you need to get started out on Twitch. Now, people, of course, will gravitate better towards like more of a polished product if you're really wanting to do that. But if you're just wanting to hang out with friends and play, then you can just get a webcam, a video game, and OBS and be good. And it's all free, other than, of course, the hardware. And then you get in, and then you can actually start making some revenue from it. You can make revenue from people buying games that you're playing. You can make revenue from what's called bits, which is just Twitch's online currency. You can make money from subscriptions, which is a monthly based subscription that people will pay. It's the lowest tier is $9.99, and they pay that monthly. I'm sorry, $4.99, and they pay that monthly.
I never under. What is the subscription thing? Because that's the one thing I don't understand. Is because people can watch you anyway, can't they? So is the subscription thing just like a donation thing to help the people they follow, or do they get something extra for the subscriptions?
Well, you're right. You can just watch for free, and then donating is a totally different thing from subscribing, which you can just do randomly if you would like. But subscriptions is basically like a Netflix thing where you pay the monthly subscription to the channel, and then it's up to the broadcaster to kind of determine the perks of the subscription. Like if you're a big streamer and you're a partnered streamer, then you get a lot of emote slots. So you can create your custom emotes to be able to use anywhere in Twitch. So you can go into somebody else's chat and put in a love eyes thing or a hello, like that. The one that Ballsy right there, 247 put there with the little girl saying hi. I have a version of that on my stream too, because I'm what's called an affiliate, and so I have 3 emote slots where I have my own custom emotes. And then other streamers will have for subscriptions like a day of the week that they play with their subscribers. So they'll actually play live with the people they're paying. So there's different perks. It kind of depends on the channel and stuff like that.
So you give them like exclusive content and stuff like that?
Exactly.
Cool. And so, you know, is that the main way that Twitchers make money through the subscription, or are there other ways that... Because I saw a thing on the TV, on the news, literally just yesterday it was on the main in the UK you got ITV, which is like one of the main TV channels, and I had a news report about people in the States, and they were saying that some people on Twitch are making hundreds of thousands, if not more, in money. And is that through subscription alone, or are they doing it through other means?
I would say at that point they're doing it through other means. Me personally, I am only making revenue off subs and donations. But there are bigger streamers, like the biggest one on Twitch is Dr. Disrespect, and he is making probably, I would guess, and this is just me pulling a number, but I would guess that he's probably making over 100,000 a month.
Really?
Yeah, he's probably making a lot of money, and he's making a lot of money. I would say he's getting close to that. I could be way off and just kind of like shooting for the moon, but he literally every 2 or 3 seconds he'll get a $5 donation. He's got over 26,000. Like when I'm watching him, he's got like over 26,000 people watching him at one point. And then who knows how many subs that is. On top of that, he has partnerships with G Fuel, Asus, I think Gillette, but I don't really follow him too close. I think Goof would be able to tell you a little bit more. He's in the chat, but yeah, that guy is making ungodly amounts of money. 40,000 subs.
And what's it?
So he's got 40,000 subs.
What's he doing?
I don't know how much that is.
Playing games. Is he playing games?
Yeah.
Is he doing entertainment video?
Yeah, so what I'm considered is a character streamer. So I embody a persona and play video games as that person, right? So if we're bringing back the veil a little bit, Bradley is a character streamer. And then Dr. Disrespect is technically a character streamer himself. Dr. Disrespect is a persona of a guy named Guy. His real name is Guy, and he created Dr. Disrespect, and he streams as Dr. Disrespect. But yeah, he's got 40,000 subs. I don't even know what the math is on that. Like if you're being modest, that's $2.50 per, so $2.50 times 40,000. I don't know what that is monthly, and that's just on the subs. Yeah.
Bloody hell. And how much
I'm doing the math
hard
right
work
now.
is it? Like just, like so if someone's seen people like him and thinking, bloody hell, you can make some good money, but how hard is it? I imagine, for every one person like Dr. Disrespect, there's, it must be a hard task to get to the top of that ladder. What sort of things do you have to do to try and build a channel on Twitch to get that kind of following, or even anything near it?
Well, Dr. Disrespect is definitely a different different person altogether, because he even had a YouTube channel that was pretty large before he came over. So he did that for a while. But if you're starting out brand new, like I've only been doing this since May, I'm just pushing over 400 followers, which is it's about a 16% growth from each stream. It's small sample size, of course, but the further you get down the road, then you start doing collaborations with groups, with other streamers. You do little projects with them. You network. TwitchCon was just happened in October, and it was probably the funnest time of my life. It was an amazing time. I met many good people. And then you kind of just do your own thing. You really have to concentrate on creating a good product and making it come off effortlessly, if I can speak correctly. And then people just kind of come to the channel, and then, but it's a lot of work. It really is a lot of work, but it's so much worth it.
Well, that leads to my next question I was going to ask is, what sort of time do people really need to be prepared to put into being a Twitcher?
Yeah.
To get that kind of following?
Yeah. I get you. Yeah, those are all full-time streamers, so they don't have a regular job. They stream about 8 hours a day for 6 days a week. So that is their job. They're doing it, and there's a lot of people out there that's their goal. For me currently, even though my stream is a little bit more elaborate than most, I'm probably putting in anywhere from 30 hours or 15 to 30 hours a week in it, and that's on top of a full-time job. So a lot. You put in a lot of work.
Bloody hell. Well, you got to obviously really enjoy it to do it as well,
Exactly. You really got to love what you're doing in order to make this work, and not everybody's going to make a job. I mean, if you look at it realistically, the majority of the people who are on Twitch right now are not going to be doing this full time in the future.
No.
It's just a part of trying to chase it, right?
I think it's the same with like any kind of entertainment, isn't it? If you're in a band trying to get a TV show, radio show, and stuff like that, not everybody can make it, but you just got to work at it. And if you've got something that people want to watch and they enjoy, then they will.
Yeah, it's not easy, and I think Scott, you hit the nail on the head. Is you got to love it. You got to love what you do, or else it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Well, did you go to that TwitchCon convention that I saw on Twitter?
Yeah. Yes, I did. It was an amazing time. So much fun. All of the cool stuff that Twitch is coming out with, and then also the biggest thing was meeting everybody and getting face-to-face time with Scribbly and the professor, and went out there with my buddy Goof. He's in chat, and our buddy Peanut. We drove out there and was out there for like 3 or 4 days and had a great time. It was a lot of fun.
So what did you do? What was
Did you get to meet many of your fans?
Go
on, you can answer
I'm not
the question
really,
first.
Well, I was going to say, I don't really have a whole lot of fans yet, but I did meet a lot of people that knew of me, and some of the guys that I was with, so it was good to actually have those conversations and get to know the people outside the stream, because that's where you build the relationships in order to make things happen.
So what actually went on at TwitchCon then? Is it just the gamers showing what they're doing, or do you play games there with people, or what was it all about?
A little bit of everything. So Twitch, since it is a Twitch event, of course they announce all the cool stuff that they got coming out and what they're going to be doing and stuff like that. And then there are of course booths with art and stuff like that. But then there are also panels like how to be a better streamer. There was there was a character panel where Scribbly and Flaming Monocle, El Dirty Squirrel, and Biz all were on, and they spoke about what it's like to be a character streamer. Other panels about how to be socially responsible on Twitter and how to grow your Twitter followings, and just a bunch of stuff like that, along with some fun activities. There was a live wrestling match. There was a game called Warframe that they kind of were really showing off. There was a H1Z1 battle royale like stadium where they did invitationals, and there's a lot going on packed in a very short amount of time. But I would say probably the biggest thing that comes out of Twitch is the relationships and the contacts that you come out with.
Were you involved in any of the displays or like things this year, or was you just there as a just being a part, enjoying the event?
I was there as an attendee. I did have a small part that was supposed to be a part of the character panel, but due to time restraint, it ended up getting cut. So I was going to be part of the panel, but I didn't.
Well, it's a great. I can definitely. I reckon next year you'll have your own, big booth. You'll be. It can be something to work for. Honestly, I mean, your channel looks fantastic on Twitch, and I think you are an amazing character. And like you say, you just got it's just a hard part of getting yourself known. And it's like anything, you can have the greatest content in the world, but you just got to find that way to make the masses know about you. Because you got a great. I've seen your videos. Your personality and the way you put yourself across is great, because I've seen plenty of other people that aren't easy. They're ill at ease in front of the camera. They just don't. Yeah. Not everyone can have that personality that people want to watch. So
we suffer from this problem.
Thank you. That's such nice words.
So when we do our interviews, we definitely
suffer from that problem, Ant.
You suffer from that problem.
You suffer from that problem. I'd have to carry you each week.
This is just like on my stream. Me and Goof yelling at each other.
That's all we do each week.
Yeah, that's pretty much the...
Lucky we're virtual.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny.
So, how do you actually do the collaboration thing? How do you actually what is it? How do you collaborate with other players? How does that even work?
That is actually one of the things with Twitch that I am slowly navigating through. I have done a collaboration with another character streamer. His name is Truce, but he's actually streams as the Drumming PC, and his story is that he is a PC that drums. Okay, so yeah, and then at the end of every stream, he ends with a boss battle. And we came up with this idea, and actually, you guys did chip in on this because you guys helped with the spaceship that we used. What's the spaceship's name? Guy's name?
Al, the alien.
Al.
Al.
So
really original name.
Yeah. So you guys helped out with that. Let me use the ship, but we just shot a quick video where it was me going through some cycles of the face movements and some other things. We put it together in a video to where he could line it up with his boss battle, and that's how I've collaborated with him. And that was actually a pretty significant boost in my viewership is when that happened, because every night his viewers were then exposed to me. Whenever you make a relationship, there's these things called shout outs on Twitch that you can do, where say somebody came into my channel and I'm a fan of theirs. I'm like, hey, go check out Goofer Games on his channel. I can do a quick little command, and in my chat box it'll pop up a link to his channel to where then people can go follow him. So that's where the relationships and the collaborations really do help with follows and just kind of getting yourself out there. But actually, figuring out exactly what to do is the tricky part.
We do actually have a clip.
I heard something called. Oh, go on, man.
We've got the clip of that video. If you want us to play it.
Oh, do you? Yeah, do it.
Spamming some emotes. Let's fire back at Mr. Cazzler. Let's protect our cyber pup. Amazing work. You guys are doing great so far.
Yeah, that's a quick little clip of that.
Yeah, so the story behind that is that a lot of dogs get agitated by the vacuum cleaner and get kind of crazy and go after a vacuum cleaner. My trigger is drums. I can't stand them. So every time I hear drums go on, I kind of lose control and I have to fly out to California and attack his base and try to take his dog. And I'm still unsuccessful.
And how does it work that his followers defeat you? How what do they gotta do? I see all them like little icons flying up at you. How does that work?
So he's using, I believe he's using Stream Elements or something like that. It's just a little plugin that you would just put in as a browser source in OBS. And whenever somebody types that in chat, it will then show up on the screen. So his story there is that and that's one of the best or the awesome things about that scene is he's getting his chat involved in everything. Yeah, because really cool. Some of the metrics in Twitch is like what's called chatter, how many congruent viewers you have and how much are actually engaging. And so that actually helps a lot with that aspect of things.
Yeah, I think that's
Could you actually play with... Right, go on, you talk, Anthony.
No, just saying, I think it's just...
Go on, you go and talk. Go on, you interrupt me. Go on, carry on.
I was just going to say, I think it's...
In your own time, go on. Yep, ask the question.
I forgot what I was going to say now. I was just going to say, it's cool how interactive things are getting. You know, the fact that the audience can get involved in things like that. Which,
yeah, and my channel is going to get a little bit more involved as well. I decided that, you know, I stole this channel from Bradley and kind of took over, and I've been having a lot of fun, but he's just been kind of sitting in the background doing nothing. And so I'm working on it right now. But
sounds like you're doing a better job than Bradley.
Oh yeah, I'm doing a way better job than Bradley. He's no good.
Well, you've been doing some more stuff with your channel, though, haven't you? Obviously, you're sat there in your little control center. But what else are you doing with your channel at the moment? Can you tell us, talk us through? Because that's not the only room that you work with, is it?
No, it is not. But the other ones are under construction right now. My lounge, I can show you the lounge, I believe. Usually that will go out with OBS. Instead, right now we don't have OBS hooked up, so this is coming straight from Character Animator right now, which I don't have that scene in.
Don't worry, Scott does this to me. Scott does this to me all the time. He's like, "Play this video." I'm like, "I haven't got the video."
Yeah.
So show this. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Can't do that."
Yeah.
Well,
I wish I could show you guys right now.
I was just
some technical difficulties.
No, it's all right. You don't have to show us. I mean, I was asking. I mean, it's one of the other questions I have for you anyway. It's like, what are your, you're obviously a very ambitious dog. So,
yep.
What are your
genius dog?
What plans do you have for the growth of your channel? What things have you got lined up? If you can tell us about them.
Well, right now the kind of general goal that a lot of people that are in my shoes right now are pushing towards partnership, but that is a goal of mine, to be able to let Bradley not work and just be able to play video games and stream and hang out with all my cool friends. But that's a far away goal. Currently, right now, the goal is just I got some smaller goals right now to get to 500 followers, make a little bit of money on Twitch, and basically just kind of hang. I don't know. I really have no in game right now with it. I haven't really thought too much further past 500 followers.
What you mentioned partnership there. What is because I see that because I was on LinkedIn earlier. As every week, I'm always whoever we're interviewing, I invite people, relevant people from that community to come and join us and watch the show either live or later on. So I was looking for a lot of people, other Twitch streamers, and I noticed a lot of people say Twitch partnership and stuff like that, or Twitch partner. I have no idea what that is. So what is a Twitch partner? Why is that something that you should strive to get?
So Twitch partnership, you can, like I said, you can broadcast on Twitch free as it is now, but once you get a partnership, then you get just more perks to offer to your community. So meaning more emotes. You honestly, one of the revenue splitting is a little bit different. So right now for affiliates is 50-50. If you get into partnerships, you can actually get your cut a little bit higher. But for me, that's all monetary and stuff like that, which is all great. But there are key metrics that you have to hit in order to be a partner. And one of those is I think 75 congruent viewers in like a matter of 30 days, meaning you have to have at least 75 people on your channel. And if that kind of stuff happens, then what you're putting out is actually entertaining people and keeping them around. And that's kind of my main goal right now. I come from a very hectic, or Bradley, I should say, comes from a very hectic last 3 or 4 years in his personal life, and found Twitch as kind of an outlet to interact with people that all enjoyed the same things that he did. So if I can be able to do that to as many people as possible, then partnership or not, it's still working for me.
No, it definitely sounds like a great community to be involved with, and it is something definitely that me and Anthony want to use our skills to get involved with. And it just so happens at the moment that we're involved with helping a lot of other people do it, and because we're working with so many people doing that, we don't have time ourselves to do it ourselves, because we're quite often working I personally am often working till 1 o'clock in the morning, and it's because a lot of the people that we work with are from the United States, or most of the people that I work with are from America, so people don't start communicating with us until later on in the evening. So I start work at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'm still sat at the computer at 1 o'clock in the morning, so I don't really get time to do things ourselves. And it is something that we're hoping to change a little bit and start doing some personal projects more. So talking to you, getting all this information is great, and I'm sure there's other people out there that are in the same boat that look at people like you and think it's fantastic and would like to do the same thing but don't quite know what to do. So any information you can give us is much appreciated.
In the comments,
yeah, of course, yeah.
was it Bullseye247 has mentioned that the stream blacked out for 10 seconds. Yeah, that was my fault. I pressed the wrong button.
It's always Anthony's fault.
Yeah, we didn't miss anything because
it's okay. That's something that's gonna always happen in live streaming. I do it on a daily basis where I'll mess up. I'll come back from a break or something and I'll be muted, and you'll just see me talking for like 15 minutes until I realize, oh wait, I gotta push that button. So it happens all the time.
Yeah, Scott doesn't understand because he doesn't. Scott just comes in and chats, and that's about it. So he doesn't
undermine what I do for this show. Every week you make out that I just plonk my backside down on the chair in my office and chat away. If I'm the one that organises the whole goddamn thing, you wouldn't have no show to be having a problem with in the first place.
That's exactly what he does.
That's the same relationship between me and Bradley. He's just here, just sitting around doing nothing, and I have to build this whole command center just to get us on Twitch. And he just sits there and he just looks pretty sometimes, and that's it.
Yeah, I read something I've noticed online when people are talking about Twitch. I can't remember what Twitch they was alluding to when they was talking about it. I think it might have, I can't remember now, I won't say. But what does it mean when somebody gets raided? You know, like, apparently, like, they said they got raided and their subscribers base or following, or whatever you call it on Twitch, went through the roof. Do you ever heard of that? Is that something you know about?
Yeah. We will do. We'll get raided every once in a while, and then we'll also raid ourselves. And what that is we are streaming and we are doing our own thing, just like we are doing right now. And then say we are getting done with the stream, and we're like, hey, you know, Goofer Games is streaming right now. Let's go over and say hi to him. Twitch has now allowed it to where you can put in a command, say raid, and what it'll do is it'll take all of the viewers that are in my channel and send them over to his channel. So that way you kind of get more exposure and more people coming through because your friends are throwing you some stuff. Some viewers.
I mean, have you... Going back to the collab thing for a moment, is it possible that you could have like two characters? So let's say, for example, I know another character on Twitch is Scribbler. Would it be possible to have like two of you on screen at the same time playing the game? So like you got your character yourself in one corner and Scribbler in the other corner, and you could be playing something, I don't know, like Street Fighter or something like that.
Yeah, actually, you can do that now. And right now in the character community, there is another gentleman. His name is Triton. He is a king of the kingdom. I don't know how to pronounce it, but he's a king, and he has a pretty elaborate setup to where he is able to put 5 people on a stream and then broadcast out from that main stream out to 5 other streams. And currently, right now, even though they're very, very new. Talks. I'm also having these talks with Scribbly, wanting to get Antho involved, but also Drumming PC and who else? Shraiku. There's another friend of ours named Shraiku. She and I will be doing the D&D campaigns here in the next couple weeks, where we'll all be on the same stream. So we're working on it.
Oh, so yeah, it sounds like you got a lot of things lined up. I see Anthony here keeps popping up this this window thing. Have we got more comments, Ant? I can't see at the moment.
Yeah, there's people chatting about it the whole time. I thought we'll keep them on screen.
Well, let's have a look at what people are saying then, so we're not ignoring them.
Kiri.
You
guys know Kiri, right?
Yeah, I'm doing some work with Kiri at the moment. In fact, I was doing some work with Kiri today. I've got to check my email later on because I sent you a message earlier, so I'll get back to that after the show.
So yeah, it looks like we're just talking about resolutions right now.
Yeah.
Go on then, Ant. You read out some of the questions or some of the comments, because on my screen, I can see the little box you got up on the window, but the writing is pixelated. I can't actually read it.
Is that better?
Oh, there you go. That's a bit. Yeah, that's a bit better. Okay, let's see. We got Ballsy. Stream blacked out. Yep, we already covered that one. Anthony messed up. Next question.
So he's talking about compression right now. So one of the Twitch partnership perks that was that you were able to, once you became partner, you were able to push I think 1080p 60 frames per second broadcasts. But they've since upped that for everybody. So everybody can do that. And that's actually, I just got done switching my stream to that the other day.
Cool. So, I mean, every week I write out a script. So a script to help me. And you know what? It doesn't help me at all. It confuses me because I jump around it and then I'll never know what bloody question I haven't asked. So, you know what? I don't even know why I bother with this goddamn script.
Yeah. I say this to you every week.
I don't know why you bother. Well, okay. What advice? I mean, we've already kind of gone over this, but we've gone over the things that you recommend people should do, you know, like when they set up a new channel about, well, I don't know if we have actually. What would be your kind of do's and don'ts? You know, what are your top 3 do's and top 3 don'ts for people starting out on Twitch? Yeah, do's and don'ts, you know, what is going to help people and what is definitely not going to help people.
Do's and don'ts, yeah. So one of the biggest things that I see on Twitch is etiquette. There is kind of a spoken, unspoken etiquette when it comes to being in other people's chats and asking for help and all of that kind of stuff. So one of the biggest things is learn etiquette. That's a do or a don't. It kind of falls into both categories. You want to be yourself on Twitch. I know that kind of sounds funny coming from me, but even though, again, pulling back the veil a little bit, even though Cazzler is a character, it is definitely a part of Bradley. So you have to be yourself no matter what you're doing. You have to have an aspect of the character that you're doing that is you to make it relatable, or just to be yourself in front of a camera. One of the also do's is when you're first starting out, even if there's nobody in your chat, because even some big streamers will have a dead chat, you have to consistently keep up your energy and you have to consistently talk like you have a full room of people. So that would probably be some of my do's. My don'ts, don't ever ask for, like, straight up ask for help. Don't ask for raids. Don't ask for people to subscribe to you. Don't ask for people, like, if you're friends and you got a buddy and you're like, yo, dude, throw me a host or whatever. If you're like really close friends with somebody, then that's a different story. But somebody that you just met, don't ask them for raids and stuff like that, especially if they don't know you, because in essence, you are an extension of their channel as well. If they're gonna put their name out there for you, you got to be able to kind of relate to that person as well. And then also, don't do any self-promotion in somebody else's chat. When you go to a streamer's channel, you're there for the streamer. You're there for his or her content. Don't make it about you. You're at their channel. If you have your own channel, then if the streamer asks you about your channel, then feel free and help it. Each channel is a little bit different. I'm a little bit more lax than I've seen others, but it's always just the err on the side of caution. Just kind of, you know, be there for the streamer. Don't be there for your own personal reasons other than just to have fun.
Do you ever get people on Twitch arguing? Do you ever get like Twitch wars between channels and stuff like that, where people fall out and, you know, like have a go at each other?
Exactly. Yeah, and that happens all the time. I mean, just like with life in itself, there's going to be a little bit of drama sometimes. The good news is that Twitch has some tools, some amazing tools that kind of help you moderate it. So they're just mods to where they can pick up on banned words, or somebody like racism is a big thing online right now. So you can set up your bot to pick out special racist words that will then immediately kick out that person. But generally, if you have a bigger channel, you'll have a friend helping you out, because like for me, I'm controlling the command center and streaming and playing a video game all at the same time. So I've got that one extra element that a lot of other streamers have. But I have friends like Goofer will come in, and he's a mod, so he has control over kicking people out or timing people out or deleting a message or something like that. So you do rely on a lot of friends and the mods to kind of make sure that those arguments don't happen. But honestly, my community has been amazing. I honestly can't even remember at all, maybe super early on, but honestly I can't remember a time that my chat was out of control where I had to step and be like, look guys, chill. You know, I haven't had to do anything like that, but it does happen to people, and you got to be ready for it.
you know, prepare to what is it? Fail to prepare and prepare to fail. And
Exactly.
another question though is Twitch suitable for kids? You know, is it like a thing that children? Because I know it's computer games and stuff, but is it more geared towards, you know, like adults or, you know, like older teens, or is it suitable for little kids? Because, you know, little kids love watching YouTube and stuff like that. You know, what's your experience of that? You know, would little kids be okay to watch your channel, or are you geared more for the older people?
So the good thing about Twitch is they do have a setting where you can make your channel 18 and up, where they have to agree to the terms before anything will show. Which my channel is that way. You do need to be 18 or older to be in my chat, just because I do use profanity. But I mean, and almost 90% of all, I should say actually 100% of all Twitch channels, like racism and just bullying, is definitely not allowed. So that's something that we don't tolerate. But there are little things that you can do to filter out yourself. But for kids, yes, as long as, in my opinion, as long as the parents are aware that they're on Twitch and that they could stumble upon something that they shouldn't be seeing. Like, Twitch has their own filters to where you're not going to see any nudity, or you're not really supposed to see anything sexual or anything like that. Those channels will get banned. But as long as the parents know what the kid is, you know, taking in, then I don't see any problem with it. I would say
Parents
that
never
my
know.
stream is.
I'll tell you now.
Yeah,
They never know. Most parents just give
my
the
mom
kids,
always knew.
and I'm guilty of this sometimes. You just give the kid the bloody iPad. It's just the virtual nanny, just to keep them quiet for 10 minutes.
Yeah, and
you know,
honestly, you're not gonna get nudity. You're not gonna get you know, adult films or anything running on there. So you're not gonna get that. But you know, people do cuss, and it is video games, and people yell out profanities and either anger or celebration. So as long as language isn't really a thing, then yeah, anybody can watch Twitch.
Well, what would you describe as your, you know, who is your audience? How would you describe your kind of, who are you? I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase this. You know, what's your target market? Who do you think would best enjoy your show? Who are you aiming yourself at? Everyone, or a particular niche?
I've got kind of a shotgun blast right now. I haven't really narrowed it down 100% yet. So I'm kind of going for a broad demographic right now. But I would say that it's kind of molding into the, you know, 20 to even up to 50. It kind of depends on what you're into. If you like video games and you like to just watch them in a chill manner and with lots of jokes and fun, then my channel is kind of for you. But you know, you kind of can find anything that you're looking for on Twitch. I just haven't really narrowed down mine yet. Definitely not like a Sunday morning cartoon for kids. More of like a Family Guy type situation. You know?
Yeah. I mean, kids don't even watch Saturday morning cartoons anymore.
Which is a shame. It's a shame.
It is. Because it's, I'll tell you what, I'll tell you now, if I was a kid growing up today, I would not grow up to be what I do now. Because when I was a kid, you basically had, and this is back in the 80s and the 90s, you basically had Saturday morning cartoons, and this is England as well, when you only had 4 bloody channels, and 2 of them only had cartoons. So you only had a very limited time to watch cartoons, and so the rest of the time, me and Anthony were just drawing, and spent years just developing those skills. Whereas nowadays, you're bombarded with so much information and games that I'd just spend all my time. You know, I got one game a year, which was like the latest Sonic the Hedgehog or the latest Mario, and you played on that all year long. And when you got bored of it, you had nothing else. Where nowadays, you get bored of a game after 1 hour, and you got all the games that would have been amazing to us back in the 90s and the 80s. Yeah. Kids just throw away nowadays. So, you know, I would have just been like the kids today and zombied out on playing games. So I think in that aspect, you know, it does stifle, you know, like some creativity. But then I suppose on the other hand, my son, you know, he sees what I do, but he wants to get into computer gaming when he's older, and he's, you know, it's what he wants to do. So there is that kind of encouragement. This is the problem.
Yeah,
This is why I'm no good as a Twitcher. I'll go on to tangent, I'll just go off book and rant about random things.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, nowadays you can make a living playing video games or developing video games, and it's not a situation anymore where your mom comes in the room and says, "Hey, go outside and play." You won't amount to anything playing video games. It's a real industry, and it's a thing that is coming quick, and there's a lot of money in it. So if you can find a niche or a service that goes into that category, then you'll be good. And it starts with learning and playing video games, which is amazing.
When you on your channel do you play like a variety of games, or do you generally stick to like you'll play one game for a while and then move on to another? How does that work? Like, does everyone just play everything, or do you have specific things?
You can on Twitch you can play pretty much anything that you want. But me personally, I have like a rotation of like 3 games right now, and honestly, I'll only play the games that I'm like feeling for that day. Sometimes I'll pull up a game, and my friends will want to play a game, and I'm just like, man, I really don't want to play that today, and I'll go play my own game. But at the same time, that's also a learning tool, because then you start paying attention to your numbers and your view counts, and you kind of get an idea of where your viewers or what your viewers want to see. So it's kind of all. I was actually talking to another streamer the other day, and I was just like, man, I don't know what I'm doing. And he's like, nobody does, man. This is all new. He's like, just pay attention to your numbers, do what you can, and learn as you go. He's like, nobody. And this is the guy I'm talking about. He's partnered, getting hundreds of views a time. He's doing really well, and even he still doesn't know what he's doing. So we're all learning together.
Yeah, I suppose that's the thing, because it's such a. Because I mean, how long has Twitch been going for now?
I don't know how long it's been Twitch, but before it was Twitch, it was called Justin TV.
Okay.
And I don't remember. I don't even know how long ago that was.
I can answer that question for you, because there's a podcast that I listen to called, oh bloody hell, what's it called now? Startup. It's called Startup, and it's a podcast. And each episode they interview different companies, and they talk about how they got started. And there is a show where they interviewed the founders of Twitch, because Twitch started out as something completely different, and then they basically stumbled upon this thing where people started watching people playing games, and it developed into, the behemoth entity of what it is now. And that's a great. It's about an hour and a half long, and they really go into detail about how they started out, how they almost went bust. And look it up online. Look up Startup, and I don't know. You just have to look through the episodes to which one it was about.
I mean, I can find.
But it was really good
for sure. Yeah, now they've got bought by Amazon, so that was. I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say they just got bought by Amazon.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, go on then, Ant.
I'll go.
We've really got to better coordinate ourselves when it comes to questions. What we should do is take turns in asking questions, which is what we did in the beginning.
You should write a script. That's what you should do.
I write a bloody script. I wrote a script for you in the beginning. You refuse to read it.
Some tangents. All right.
This is Anthony. You know what? He sabotages the bloody show. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah.
You talk before I start ranting about Anthony.
So yeah, one thing that we should probably, one thing that I see chat kind of giving you a little bit of a hard time about, Scott, is calling it twitching.
Oh yeah.
That's like, as broadcasters, that's the one word that we kind of try to stay away from, because nobody's twitching tonight. we're all streaming or broadcasting.
That's probably going to stick though, isn't it? Twitchers.
It is a little bit. It is a little bit. That's like one of the very first words that you can pick out of somebody saying something about Twitch and know that they are learning about Twitch.
Yeah.
Is whenever somebody says they're twitching.
How long do your shows normally go on for? Like, how long do people actually watch you playing? Is it like 10 minutes, half hour, 2 hours, all day long? How long do people actually sit and watch you play a game for?
It kind of depends on the streamer and their availability. Me personally, I only have availability for about 4 or 5 nights a week, for about 4 to 5 hours. But there are other streamers that do it all day long, 8 hours, 8 to 10 hours, Monday through Friday. So it kind of depends on your level and your availability. Because Bradley has a full-time job, we don't have enough time to really commit to it like that, which is one of the reasons why we work together so much. Is all of the stuff that we work together on, Bradley really wants to learn how to do and is continuing to strive to do that. But a full-time job salary that has really no set hours is kind of hard to work around.
Yeah, I mean, we're in the same, but we want to get into like a bit more live 3D animation. We want to bring our digital puppets into a 3D environment. It's just the time. Like, finding that time away from your daily work to set aside to do it. It's just, it'd be great if you could just have, like, say, I just want, 6 months off to work on this stuff.
Oh, yeah. I
mean, you want to do...
Take a break from work.
It's like we'd love to set up a Twitch channel ourselves, like, and play some games and that.
Yeah,
but...
that's what we should get Chip and Pug to do, Ant. If you move your head out the way, I don't know if you can see it on the wall behind you. Is Chip and Pug on the wall? Move your head to the side, Ant, like that. No, it's behind the TV. Never mind. We've got these two characters. It's a hamster and a dog, and we've been working on it for ages. And they're like proper complicated characters, and we haven't done anything with them just because we've been trying to find the perfect platform. And that'd probably be ideal for Twitch, really, or at least put them on Twitch as an example of them working. But I don't know how we get them both working at the same time.
We'd figure it out.
Also, we use Xboxes.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a little bit harder. You have to stream. I mean, you can go from the Xbox into the PC, but then you'd have to then broadcast from the PC. I mean, that's the ideal way to do it. You don't have to do it that way, but...
Yeah, we could do it through VMix,
not really.
actually.
Yeah, what we could do, Ant, is go as Chip and Pug, and we could play against each other as... what's that game called now? Starcraft. I don't know if people still like watching stuff like that. That was the game that I always enjoyed playing on the PC. Starcraft.
Yeah, that was
there's definitely... there's definitely a niche market out there for it's still. I actually have a friend named Biz who just got done playing it, did like a series on it and stuff, and there's a market out there for old indie, or not even indie, but old classic games. Yes,
what,
creative
so
streams too.
Creative streams are big. Classed as old fashioned now.
Yeah, I think it would be.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
what game would you recommend?
Adobe
Sorry, carry on.
I'm sorry, go ahead. No, I was just going to say that Adobe...
No, it's that whole lag thing again.
Their own channel. It is. Adobe's got that whole, their own channel where they host other people working on Adobe products and creating, and that's, over 1,000 viewers each time? So...
Really?
And that just draws traffic to your channel? Yeah, and I'm sure you might know somebody, Dave, over at Adobe, that might be able to hook you up with that.
Yeah, we'd have to have a chat. We'll have to have a look into that. We've got a few questions. Goofer Games has asked, is the 3D characters that we make also in Character Animator or in FaceRig? The 3D characters that we do are in Character Animator. We just basically render them out as 2D animations, 2D frames, and build them the same way as we build the 2D characters. I mean, we are, like I say, we are looking into setting it up in using Unity and using Faceware. Well, there's a few other bits of software that we've looked into, but like I say, we haven't had time to do it yet. But hopefully, after Christmas next year, we'll get some of that sort of stuff running.
Oh yeah, and what Chris is talking about right there, Unreal Engine has NDI support now.
Yes, yeah, and I think Unity does as well. I think some people have done some stuff with Character Animator and Unity using NDI.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't Rick and Morty do something?
No, I think it was My Little Pony did something. And that was using Unity, I think.
Oh.
But, like I say, there's loads of this. We've got a whole list of things we want to look into and work on. And it's just...
Well, Christmas... I mean, it was Christmas last year that we really got into Character Animator. because, you know, we took the time off and we, you know, about 2 weeks, and then we never stopped working. It's just we took that time to work on our own stuff. And so, you know, I mean, this, I got my own personal project that I've got lined up for Christmas this year, but I know Anthony's looking into, what did you want to do? Do you want to start working on a 3D chat thing or something?
Yeah, I want to make an actual virtual chat thing so we can use the characters, even with the 2D characters that we've got set up, using a similar setup to what we have in Character Animator. Make a virtual chat space so we could, like, instead of going through broadcast software like this, we could all just get together in a virtual space and then broadcast that. And then, yeah, maybe we could probably get a lot more people in there.
I mean,
yeah.
And that leads to another question I've got for you, Mr. Cazzler, is obviously you're chipping away and working hard at Twitch at the moment. Do you have any ambition to take your character to any other platform like YouTube or Mixer or anywhere else?
I do know that there are some good characters. Nibbles? Is that his name? Nibbles? He's on Mixer?
Nibbles? Yeah. We
so
know Nibbles. In fact, I think he's on the board as well behind Anthony's head.
Yeah, so Nibbles is on Mixer, and he, from what I see, he's starting to really kill it over there. Me personally, I'm probably gonna. I've just fallen in love with Twitch. What they kind of call bleed purple, because of course Twitch's colors are purple. So I'll probably stick it out with Twitch for a while. But you know, my wheels are turning on maybe doing some shorts or something in the future. I mean, huge, big zoom out kind of picture would be kind of cool to have my own show of some sort. But I don't know. That's really, really, really far down the road, and I'm just kind of concentrating on Twitch right now.
And okay, so if you're sticking on Twitch, I mean, like, going back to the collab for a second, is there any particular people on Twitch that you'd like to collaborate with that you haven't been able to, you know, is there anyone that you would like to approach, or, you know, that are in your sights to, you know, get in touch with? And who's your, like, kind of dream collaboration that you'd like to, you know, get involved with?
Dream collaboration. There are so many good people on Twitch, especially in the character space. Antho would be somebody that I would love to work with. But Antho's on a completely different level right now. None of the other characters that I run with, like Scribbly or who else is kind of in this, Kayla, or, you know, Chi-Billy, none of these people that use Character Animator are anywhere near the level of Antho. So he's kind of a lofty goal. But Antho, I have a friend in California. His name is Jay Cyrus.
I don't think Antho is using these character anymore on it, because he's like, he started off just being like playing all the different games, and he was using his character, his policeman character.
Oh.
But I think since he started being the police officer in the Grand Theft Auto, from what I've seen of his latest videos, I think he just concentrates on, you know, his actual character in Grand Theft Auto is almost his character.
Oh, okay.
And again, I don't know that much about Twitch, and I don't have the time to follow people like I'd like to. But I mean, it seems to me one of the things that Antho's big attractions is that he is a police officer, and, you know, he's got some fantastic stories about, like, you know, police in America just seem to have, like, a really you know, like the police in England, and you know, I'm not. It's just in America they just seem like it's almost like the Wild West, especially in like California. It seems they have a crazy time of things that can happen to them, and obviously he has a lot of stories that people, you know, can find fascinating and want to follow.
Yeah, I didn't notice that he actually stopped doing the character.
Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't notice that he stopped using the character, but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even begin to even be able to comment on what the police have to deal with, because I'm not in that environment. But yeah, his stories are awesome, but also him, and then there's another guy named Jay Cyrus that I really want to work with. But also my close friends here in Arizona, where I'm at, and streaming friends, Goofer, which is in chat, and then another guy named Tanner, or It's Peanut. We're getting ready, or at least in the talks of getting like a podcast together, and kind of doing that together. But I kind of want to work with everybody. It's finding the time, like you guys keep talking about. That's the big thing. It's like, where do I keep my focus at while doing a full-time stream and full-time job?
Yeah, it's the same. I mean, we're planning on cutting our interviews down now to a monthly thing because we're just running out of time. The more projects we take on, the less time we have to this. And we really enjoy doing these interviews. So we're going to have to, I think we are going to do it now once a month and maybe do a bit of a longer interview and try and do some more tutorials and stuff. But yeah, everything comes down to time in the end.
Yeah. But the idea is
you guys can always...
We definitely need to fix the whole lag issue that we have.
I know.
So,
I'm lagging.
The lag is kind of hard to deal with sometimes, but at the same time, you guys could, open up a satellite Look Creative Studios here in the U.S. and I can run it for you. Just hire me. Hire me.
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, God,
that one's free.
A lot of things you wanted to. Well,
put it on the list.
Well, there is a list. There's a list on my wall. It's like all the things we want to do, and it's been the same goddamn list for about 2 years, and we hardly get to this. This show is the very first thing that's been on the list that we've actually managed to do, and we've kept this show going for about 6 months now. So that's a bloody record for us.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why we're going to cut back. One of the reasons that we're going to cut back is not that we're going to stop doing it. It's just so that we've got time. We're going to do this show once a month, and in the other weeks we're going to do the other shows that we want to work on, because really we've only got a very limited time a week to work on stuff. So one day a week we're going to do this. Sorry, one day a month we're going to do this, and then the other days in the week we're going to try and do the other shows that we're working on.
think...
and who knows, we might even get around to doing something on Twitch. We probably won't.
I don't know. I quite like the idea of using Chip and Pug as Twitchers.
We can put our arguing to constructive use. If we're going to argue, we might as well argue when we're fighting against each other on Starcraft or something like that.
Yeah, it would be Twitch streamer or broadcaster.
Not Twitchers.
I mean, if you're looking for another source of revenue, especially for what you guys are doing in this new amazing program, called Character Animator, if you guys, in my opinion, if you guys figured out a way to stream while you worked, you can make some extra revenue right there.
I mean, we could easily do that. Actually, we've all we'd have to do is do a desktop grab, screen capture while we're working.
Yep.
Well, I've been saying to you about streaming out to Twitch, because at the moment we stream out to YouTube and Facebook simultaneously, if that's the correct way to say the word. But why haven't you been streaming us to Twitch, Ant? Is there a reason for it? Is there anything you can ask?
No.
Help on.
We tried it once and it all crashed. So I think it's just a simple case of we're just playing it safe. It was only about a month or so ago that we went onto Facebook and YouTube, so we will try and go to Twitch eventually, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Twitch.
I think what we need to do is do it on a separate day instead of trying to do a completely separate show just for Twitch. And that's like I say, maybe use the other characters and then show some of the do some live.
You said you were going to upload. You could live stream some of the shows that we've already done on YouTube and upload them to Twitch, so we've got the content on there.
Yep.
You can.
We'll figure that out.
It's on the list. It is already on the list.
It's on the list. Definitely going to sort it out. And this conversation with you has been great, because, like I said, we didn't really know that much. Even though we work with people that use Twitch, us ourselves have not really used it. So it was great to talk to you and find out a bit more about how it all operates. And it's definitely been inspiring. It sounds great, and maybe we'll try and get Chip and Pug on Twitch, and it wouldn't be we wouldn't be able to do it very often. We'd be bloody lucky to do it once a month, but it'd be nice to actually put ourselves out there and on there. So I think before we start wrapping this up, we should have a look at the comments and see if anything else is, just make sure we're not neglecting anybody. Is anybody been posting any questions, Anthony, or any comments that we should answer?
I think chat's looking more like a standard Twitch chat right now, opposed to a YouTube chat.
Yeah, they're chatting away amongst themselves.
People talking. Yeah, exactly. They kind of just, and this is how Twitch goes. It's just, and that's one of the things about having a great community is people can just talk to each other, and some people love that. Some people love to be able to just talk with their friends online and not have to do it out in the real world.
See, I like that. I like the whole. It's a kind of a meeting place where people just get on, and there's a like I say, a little community, and especially if you've got
Anthony has no friends, so it'd be nice for him to be able to try and make some.
We can be friends.
Yeah, everything's coming out.
Follow me on Twitch.
We'll do. But yeah, no, we need to say thanks to everyone who's been on the chat page as well, commenting. We've had a lot more people on the chat on this episode, so yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, well, we should give a big call out to I'm assuming these are all friends. Well, I'm definitely assuming they're all friends of yours. If we've got Mr. Goofer Games, we've got Kiri, who I'm working with at the moment, and she's got a great one that I'm looking forward to finishing. And we've got Keeperstone, Fremantle. I can't even pronounce that name. Fremantle Alchemist or something like that.
We call her Fem.
Fem will do.
Yeah, do you reckon?
That sounds
you recognize
easier way to say it, ain't it?
It's from I believe it's from a anime.
Yeah. Is it like playing Full Metal Alchemist?
Yes, I think that's exactly what it is.
I'm not a fan. Goofer Games. Oh well. Kiribot, come with Twitcher friends. Well, like I said, Anthony's looking for new friends all the time, so he'll be happy to be Twitcher friends with all of you.
Come on in. And Pingu.
Oh, yeah. Alright.
Yeah, these are all my friends.
Okay, well, we've kept you for long enough tonight, and I'm sure. Are you going onto Twitch tonight? Or is it
I am not. It's normally a night that I would be streaming, but I am going to have to take tonight off because Bradley was I don't want to call him a mean name right now, but he wasn't very smart on his drive home from California. Left his phone on top of the car and then drove off and ended up shattering his brand new iPhone X everywhere. It was awesome. So I gotta get a new phone for him.
Bloody hell.
That's like,
well, just before we
carry on,
just before we do say good, what? Hey, what are you going on about, Ant?
Just keep talking.
What are you saying? Well, okay, I will carry on talking. What I was going to say, obviously, before we say goodbye and everything, can you tell us what nights you are on Twitch? We'll put a link below to your channel, but for people that are wanting to follow you, what nights can they find you on the channel?
I'm on pretty much every night. I usually will take Tuesday off and Sunday, but other than that, I'm usually on every night by at least 6 p.m. till about 9 or 10 p.m.
And what particular game, just to confirm, are you playing at the moment? Is it like one game you're sticking with, or you do you swap between games, or what is it?
I'm swapping through between games right now. I'm playing a lot of PUBG, League of Legends, and Fortnite.
Any particular favourite out of them?
League of Legends is kind of close to my heart just because I love playing it, and the new season for the competitive play is coming up right now, so getting charged up for that.
Cool. Well, you never know. We might actually do something ourselves and try and give you a collab online somewhere down the line. Probably never happen, but
there you go.
Never know. Well, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. Yes. You gave us loads of information. You've definitely inspired us. And, well, we hope to see you soon on Twitch, maybe.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate you guys having me on. And bye to chat, and I'll see you guys soon.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah,
we got no arms, so we can't wave goodbye. So, we'll just check ahead. Bye.
All right, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to power down then.
See you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye. We really need to get better at signing off on these interviews. I never know how to end them.
No.
It feels like you're kicking them out, don't it? It feels like kind of like, right, thank you for coming in. Now, you know.
Off you go.
Do one. It feels impolite. It feels like, I don't know. It feels like there should be a more polite way of. Maybe it's just a British thing. Maybe we're polite. We're, you know, too hung up on being polite. It just feels like that when you're saying goodbye, you're kind of shoving them out the door.
Well, we'll put it on the list of
a better
things
way
to
of what? Put it on the list of things to do. How to be more polite in telling people to go.
We'll practice being polite in telling people how to go.
Yeah, if anyone's got any recommendations on the best way to end the show, because obviously me and Anthony can't figure it out, we'd very much like to hear about it. Right, Anthony, is there anything you want to end the show on?
No, like I said, the last couple of weeks, we haven't really got around to doing any kind of school time or showcase stuff. And there's loads that we need, loads of stuff going on in the new version of Character Animator that we even haven't had a chance to look at properly ourselves yet. So there's a lot with the physics, like I say, all the MIDI stuff. I'm still trying to find time to do a tutorial. But
what we're going to do going forward, because in the past we've obviously been doing these big shows where we've done the interviews and then we've done school time and then showcase, and I think what's probably better is if when we do these shows we keep it to the interviews, and then when we have things like the showcase and the tutorials and stuff like that, we're just going to keep them as individual videos and upload. And if there's anything that anybody wants to particularly know about, they can send us an email or post a comment on any of our uploaded videos, because we reply to them straight away pretty much, as long as, you know, we're not in bed, you know, because of the time difference. But if anybody wants to know any particular thing on Character Animator, we're happy to make a tutorial video and upload it for you. Just get in touch and ask us. So what are you thinking, Ant? Do you think we should do something on Twitch?
Sure, I really do. I think
we should. What I reckon what would be a good one on Twitch is if, in fact, we don't even have to have the two characters up on page at the same time. You could have, or I don't know, actually. I reckon we should download Starcraft, and then me and you play against each other. You can be Pug, I'll be Chip, and then we can put our arguing to some, you know, some good use. And then people watching can actually, you know, maybe they can do some spying for us. They can, you know, go across to your channel and let me know where you're sneaking around. They can do a bit of, watch out, Scott! He's coming around the corner!
Well, I could definitely easily set this up so that we can get
especially with the touchscreen. It'd be ideal. I think that's what we should do. That's what we should do with Chip. See, like, obviously people don't. We've got two set of characters. Not two. We've been working on two shows. One which is based around a pub, based around a cartoon pub, and that one's going to be a kind of unconventional look at the daily news. And I'm quite happy with the setup we've got for that one. But we've got these other two characters, Chip and Pug, who is a little hamster and a little pug dog, and we've got them, and the characters look great. I spent ages making really complicated characters with loads and loads of expression, and we haven't done anything with them because we don't want to waste the characters. We want to do something with them really interesting, and perhaps maybe the best thing we could do with them is, you know, come up with do a Twitch channel with them, a game. You know, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I think
that could be one of our Christmas.
Yeah, definitely. I think that should be one of our Christmas projects to work on.
Okay, well, that's what we'll do. We'll figure out a way. I mean, haven't we already got a Twitch channel? Didn't you set one up? Digital Puppets.
We have.
Yeah, we're on Twitch already. So if anybody wants to follow us in anticipation, look up Digital Puppets on Twitch. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere on there. Digital Puppets. Follow us. And if we ever actually manage to bloody do something, then I'm assuming you'll get some kind of notification. Definitely top of the list. Chip and Pug on Twitch. And I reckon we get Starcraft 2 and play against each other. The only thing I don't know, would we have our own separate channels and play against each other? Or we'd have to, I suppose.
No, we can work it out. We can either do a split screen or we can. I'll figure that out. It's easy.
You figure out. I reckon that should be at the top of your list. Figuring out how we can both. That'd be quite good actually. If
we could even do it with one playing, and the other person just commenting and chatting to people at the same time. And
yeah, I suppose that'd be a good idea. Both of us could be playing someone else, and then like okay, one of us is controlling it, and then we can argue over what we should, what's the best way of what strategy and whatnot. And then if something goes wrong, we can argue and blame each other.
Chris Creations has just asked, ever thought of using LFO tool for Character Animator MIDI stuff?
What?
What is the LFO tool? I'm not too sure.
Ever thought of using LFO tool? I have no idea. If you're still watching, Chris, what is LFO tools?
Yeah.
And I see that KiwiBot said, I followed you, Twitchers. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for the follow. There's nothing on there yet, but...
Oh, hang on, I'm pressing wrong buttons here, I'm messing it up.
You got a dodgy eye. Yeah, we'll start getting some content on there, I think. I think that's the plan.
Right, okay, I think we're just
okay, it's a
babbling on now. Let's
it's a MIDI LFO.
Sorry, yeah,
it's a MIDI LFO generator.
Okay, that I have no idea what that is either.
What's an LFO? Yeah. Oh, and Kiba Stone as well has followed us. Thank you, Kiba.
Thank you very much. Hopefully, I don't know if people will be.
Let you automate
I don't know what
MIDI
we
stuff
can do that's entertaining for everybody, but maybe something.
We've actually.
Automate.
I don't know if it's the same sort of thing as what you're talking about. We've used virtual MIDI things. On work, I've still got to make it. I've managed to set up the Xbox controller using it and turning the Xbox controller into a virtual MIDI device, so we can use that to control sliders and position and scale within Character Animator. And I'm sure you'd be able to do the same thing as well using like a virtual stuff like that.
But you can set up the sliders on the touchscreen, can't you? And all the MIDI things. That's one of the audio things for the touchscreen. Is it not?
Yeah, you can do. But haven't really looked into it properly yet. With the MIDI thing, but I think that the cool thing with the whole MIDI input is the fact that you could get a full MIDI kind of mixing desk, and you've just got massive amounts of buttons that you can use. So whereas before you only had whatever keys were on the keyboard, you can have knobs, sliders, all sorts, and I think there's over 100 that you can program in. The other cool thing that we've noticed as well with the new trigger buttons in Character Animator, they don't actually have to be set to keys. You can, if you've got a touchscreen monitor, or even if you just click on them on screen, there's loads available. So you can make as many.
It lifts that whole limit thing, which is ideal. And Chris has replied again. He said this would work on its own though, without having to touch it.
Oh, so I mean, so it'd be like an automatic. Yeah, I suppose. But I'm not sure what you would use it for. I mean, you probably could program it so that it could run different animations and stuff in the background, or yeah. I mean, there's so much stuff. When we sit down and start to think about it, we always come up with new ideas. We go on a tangent, and it's oh, why don't we use it for that? Why don't we use it for that? It's I'm pretty sure there's loads of stuff that we can use the physics for, and I haven't even looked at it yet because I know that'll we go down a rabbit hole with that. I
never, to be honest, when I'm building characters either for myself or for customers, it's one of those that I figure out as and when I need it. if I need a character to do a certain action, you know, at some point in the future, I'll need to use, you know, like in the past I had like the smoke coming out of the spaceship, and I never had to use the particle thing until that point. So, you know, at some point in the future, there will be a need for the physics and the particles and all them new things, but I haven't really explored them yet because I've had no need to. But it's great that they're there, ready for when I do. But when it comes to...
I say it's a good point that
is it...
Chris has just made.
What?
Yeah, you could animate the MIDI, so yeah, essentially make keyframes so you could set up a series of... Because that's kind of what's lacking in Character Animator at the moment. You haven't got keyframed animations. So, yeah, that could be pretty cool for something like that. That might be something that we could look into.
Yeah, definitely, you know. And that's what, you know, one of the things that people know us for. I mean, really, it's Anthony who, when it comes to... We do different things. Anthony likes to experiment with the technical side of things and the 3D side of things, where I like to... Anthony likes to push the technology and what you can do with the technology and what you can make it do. Whereas what I like to push is character design and what you can make the character do. You know, like unique ways of making the character do things that you might not thought of. You know, so we both have different interests. So definitely when it comes to the whole MIDI thing and whatnot, that's Anthony's arena. He likes learning all the new technical side of things, and then he explains it to me, basically.
Yeah, but I just haven't had that. Like, Christmas is kind of a really busy time for us. A lot of people want a lot of animations doing, and they always want it before, ready for Christmas, and they want it before December. So, yeah, like we're flat out around this time of year, but it's also the same.
I've got tons on at the moment, yeah.
Yeah, it's also the time of year that we get a break as well. So we'll end up working on some of our own stuff. So we'll start exploring some more of the features.
Yeah, I always
Character Animator.
try and I definitely take a week off over Christmas, and for the last few years, I've given myself 2 weeks off. You know, I work flat out all year, so why not? You know, just sit back and enjoy playing with all the new toys and whatnot. And it looks like we got another new follower, Fem. I can't pronounce that name again, but
Fem's
following us on Twitter as well.
Very good, and we've also
got a lot of people
had a new Chris has subscribed to our YouTube channel.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Chris. We're getting a lot of new followers. Not, you know, this is why we should make more time to interact with our audiences. We've been a bit rubbish at it, really, in the past.
We have to. I think, like
to get that.
I think we need to get on Twitch. I think there's a good community on Twitch as well. We need to get involved.
Well, before we shoot off, if we were to get into Twitch, I know we go on about Starcraft, and that's because we're bloody old. Well, we're not. I don't think we're that old, but you know, when it comes to game taste, you know, the reason that we like Starcraft is because we was playing the original one back in the 90s when most people didn't even have the internet. You know what? I was the first person in my school to have the internet. That's how old we are. No one else had the internet apart from one other kid.
Not that old.
Eh?
We're not that old.
Yeah, but no one else had the internet at school. The first time I had the internet was in 1996. I got a modem for my 15th birthday. So that would have been 1996, about what? What's that? 15... Oh, bloody hell, it's almost 20 years ago now. You know, you tell people that we was around when the internet wasn't basically used by anyone. That makes us, you know, archaic, cavemanish.
What we could always do
to the kids that
is we could play Rocket League. It's the only game. It's one of the only games I ever actually find some time to play lately. You can just get on it and
yeah. I think it needs to be a PC based game. Otherwise, you're going to have the whole issue of setting it up via the Xbox and the whole lag thing. You need to do it through the computers and do it that way. I mean, if we did do it, and there's no reason why we shouldn't do it. What games would you like to see us playing against each other? Is there any particular popular games online or on Twitch at the moment where people are playing against each other? What games should me and Anthony do battle that we can fight against each other? Any recommendations?
So I've just downloaded on the Xbox that Fortnite, which looks pretty cool. I had it's just like a survival game.
On the Xbox? Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, I do play games. I play games virtually every night on the Xbox One. I play. I'm currently playing Call of Duty World War II. Yeah, I don't really ever play against anyone online. I just play against my dad. You know, my dad's quite. You know, we go on about us being old. My dad's proper old. My dad's is one of the original 1970s gamers. When we was kids, we had all the latest computers: Ataris, Amigas, Spectrums. You know, my dad is one of the first, you know, proper gamers around, and he's still, you know, he's in his 50s now, which I don't think is that old. But you know, he's still well into his games, and me and my dad play. You know, he's desperate to beat me. He can never beat me, and sometimes I let him win just so that he won't totally give up playing. And you know, he gets proper happy when he wins, and then you know he proper rubs it in, and I'll play along, and he's like, "Yeah, Dad, you beat me. I can't, you know." I'll pretend to be upset so that you know to help him believe that he really beat me, but he didn't beat me. He can't beat me.
We've got a comment on.
You can't beat me at games either.
We've got a comment on Facebook. Nick Divers.
Oh, what? Oh.
He says this is freaking me out. So I think he might be new to the whole. Nick Divers. He's on on Facebook. So yeah, I think the whole talking cartoon heads are freaking him out. So I thought I'd best reply back to his comment to freak him out some more. But you say this. I spoke to Dad the other day, and he's
All right, go on, yeah.
He was telling me how he beats you all the time, and how you can't handle it, and then you freak out and moan about it all the time. So it's completely different stories.
I'm telling you now. Come on, your Dad swears. Dad would swear blind that black is white. Does he ever agree with anything?
No. But
Dad is pants. Zach will beat Dad.
No.
And for anyone watching, Zach is my 7-year-old son who is easily beat my dad.
I know from experience growing up that you will cheat anywhere that you can, and you can't stand like losing.
How can I cheat on a computer?
You do. Or I remember that your favourite trick as a kid was if we played a game, you would I'd beat you like about 3 times, and then you'd win the last game, and then declare yourself ultimate champion because you won the last game, and then you'd refuse to play more games, and then be like, "I'm the champ. You can't beat me," and then yeah, that type of thing. That's how you used to cheat.
You know what? You know what though? I swear to God, honestly, this is true. Just before I come on tonight, my son Zach, who, as I said, is 7 years old, every night when I put him to bed, he likes playing rock, paper, scissors before he goes to sleep. And normally he never wins, and I never let him win. But for the last few nights, he's been winning. So what? He beat me about 5 times in a row tonight, randomly, and he was like proper happy. So I said to him, "I'll tell you what, Zach, let's have one last game of champion or champion." And by the time we played the 5th game, I worked out his rhythm. He definitely had a routine. He would go rock, and then he would go paper, then he would go scissors, and I knew for a fact what his next one was going to be. So I said to him, "Well, I'll tell you what, Zach, since you're doing so well, let's have a champion of champions, and whoever wins this one is the champion." And so, true to form, I beat him, and then while he was trying to protest that it wasn't fair, I put my hands in the air, did a little dance, said I'm the champion, sung the Queen song, and left the room to him shouting his head off, going, "That's a cheater!" A true story.
Yeah, like I said, don't surprise me whatsoever. Sort of, what was it? Yeah, apparently Chris just says that Fortnite is free on the PC too. So there you go. That's what we need to do.
So what's the what is Fortnite? Is it like a Call of Duty sort of game?
No, like it's you kind of you land into a map, then you've got to collect guns and stuff, and you can actually. I don't really know. I haven't played it. I've seen some people playing it, and it looks quite cool. You can build stuff as well. There's kind of like some sort of weird mashup of like Minecraft.
I'll tell you what game I like. So that Battleground looks quite good. I think the one where you drop onto the island and it's the last man standing. But I think if it's going to be
Yeah,
me
that's
and
the
you,
same
it's
thing.
got to really.
That's
Yeah.
the same thing.
But I think if it's going to be me and you, it's got to be a two-player game. You know, I think people will watch. What we should do, it should be a bit like me and Dad in terms of, you know, who's going to win.
Yeah.
Maybe the likes of Starcraft would just go on too bloody long, so it does need to be. But then games like Rocket League is too short, so it needs to be something a bit more like Call of Duty, I think. Maybe not Call of Duty, but something like that. Or maybe the one you're going on about, I don't know. I'll have to check it out later. You'll have to send me the link.
Okay, I reckon we need to wrap it up now. I think the Facebook page has gone down anyway now as well. It's randomly turned itself off.
Right.
So,
okay, well, thank you very much once again to Mr. Cazzler for joining us on the show tonight. Great to talk to you. Loads of information. Definitely inspired me and Anthony. And what do you think, Andy? If we do go on to Twitch, should we go on as ourselves, you know, us here, Luckheads, or as Chip and Pug? I think Chip and Pug. We should go on as Chip and Pug. What do you think?
yeah, we'll try something new, and we'll get some new characters out there. Definitely.
Yeah, okay. Right, okay, let's wrap this up. Let's actually say goodbye to anyone. Is there any last messages before we go?
Just saying about Fortnite is like PUBG, except you can build bases and forts, and you can drop down.
Just fight against each other, like.
Yeah, last man standing.
Is it like 1-on-1?
It's like, I think it's like 100 people drop down, and it's last man standing.
But could we work together, and then I can stab you in the back at the very end,
Probably, yeah.
so that I win?
Yeah. Standard scut move. Okay. We are now wrapping things up, so we will say see you soon. Thank you to Mr. Cazzler for coming on the show. Thank you for all the comments and everyone chatting in the chat. And we will be back soon. Will we be back next week? And we actually have got another interview next week, haven't we?
Oh yeah, we got one more. Like we said, we were just going to round it up, and then loads of people started messaging us and asking us to interview them. Yeah, we got someone. We've got a Kickstarter fella next week. You'll have to check back for updates on that. But he's he worked on a lot of shows like Ren and Stimpy, so it's a really interesting one to be speaking to. So yeah, we're going to be back next week, and then after that, we're going to be gone probably till after Christmas. Well, this show's going to be gone till after Christmas. I think we'll definitely work on that Twitch thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
okay then.
We'll definitely work on that. We're going to definitely do that. That's the top of the list. Yeah.
Yes,
right, so thank you everyone for watching. And we're going to go now. So, yeah, that's it. Like I said, we don't really know how to end these shows properly. So let's just say bye. Okay. Bye. See you later.
See you later.
Toodaloo. Ta-ta.